evil assassin, burdened by conscience in a dangerous world. His only way out, a deadly assignment with a hidden secret. Now betrayed by the only code he ever knew, and haunted by visions of a violent past, his only hope for redemption is a friendship which could cost him his life.
Welcome back to our Humble Sunday podcast. You've now tuned in to Drop the Mic for episode 269, Assassin with a Heart of Gold. And we are your hosts, Chris Pawlak, and of course, I the Swan. What's up, dude? Welcome back.
Thank you for having me. I'm super happy to be doing the show this week instead of last week because my voice was fucking thrashed last week.
What happened?
It was just my sinuses. It's that time of the year, so my sinuses start acting up, and early last week to just until about Friday of last week, my voice was really, really bad. Sounded like I'd been smoking cigarettes and drinking for a week straight. Welcome to Drop the Mic. I'm Chris. That's what it sounded like. So I'm happy that it's recovered by now. Even some of my coworkers are so sweet. They were so worried about me. Oh my God, are you okay? I was like, no, I'm fine. It's just my voice is not there. It's completely trashed today. But luckily, I had a couple of days off in a row and then was able to recover.
Very nice, man.
So I'm thankful to be doing the show this week.
I can't imagine you with a raspier voice.
So I know that sometimes we've done the show where they've been acting up and I sound a little stuffy.
Mm-hmm.
I know that comes to that from time to time, but it happens from every now and then. My voice will start to be affected by whatever's going on with my sinuses. But yeah, it was bad.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you for having me, as always.
Yeah, your end of the month takeover. This week you chose the 1989 John Woo action classic, The Killer. But before we get into the film, let's warm up with a little bit of our intro segments, shall we?
Of course.
And now for a special news report. Brought to you by Drop the Mic.
All right, so of course, pop culture news first. Do you have anything interesting, anything that caught your eye for this week so far?
I do not. That's all you. I just know CinemaCon's going on, so I hear a lot of things coming out of CinemaCon and seen on a lot of the studios kind of preview what they have on their upcoming slates.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk. I have just three quick pieces if you want to hear them.
Sure,
quick.
Of course.
I'm sure you probably read most of what I have, but the Batman 2 is officially being developed with Matt Reeves returning to direct.
That's awesome. Can't wait. Love the Batman. I kind of hope that they don't go the Joker route.
Okay.
We've seen that, and there's been two really great Jokers, and it seems like I don't want them to continually go back to that same well. So I know that they kind of had teased that Barry Keoghan at the end of this one. But I just hope that was just kind of a tease and not, we're going to set up the next movie and it's going to be the Joker.
I think if they do use the Joker, he probably will be like maybe in the background, not like a main villain. I don't know. I guess we'll see as news continuously rolls out for that.
Yeah, excited though.
Down the line, yeah.
Excited though. Keep it to like 2.5 hours this time though.
Did you watch Ghostbusters Afterlife yet?
Not yet.
But
I will when I get to the listening to the Blank Check miniseries that they did on the Ghostbusters films.
Okay. The reason why I bring that up is because I guess, and I think this is also at CinemaCon, they've officially announced that a Ghostbusters 5 is coming, and it'll be a direct sequel to Afterlife. I mean, obviously, I think Afterlife really crushed at the box office. It did way better than they even thought it was going to, so that's no doubt why they're going to carry on with it. Hopefully they can keep the steam rolling. I know you can't really say much because you haven't seen the newest outing, but I hope you like it when you get to see it. I think you will.
I'll let you know when I do. When I do good run. I'm way behind on Blank Check miniseries.
That's okay. Moving on to my final piece of news, I guess Paramount has released an official title for the next A Quiet Place film, and the subtitle will be Day One. So it's A Quiet Place, Day One.
So are they going to go back to the initial invasion then?
That's what it seems like, which would mean that it's a prequel?
Yeah. How was the second one? You watched the second one.
Second one's really good.
Okay.
They keep that really like intense but intimate thriller kind of atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
It's very atmospheric, and what's his name? Cillian Murphy is great, as he always is. But yeah, you haven't seen the second one then yet?
No, I was kind of lukewarm on going back to that because as much as I enjoyed parts of the first one,
Mm-hmm.
was kind of like, I don't really know if I want to go back and watch another sequel.
Okay.
I think the first one kind of has a good end point.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I just wish that movies would know when to say stop.
Looking at you, John Krasinski.
You know? Hey, it was a big hit. It made a lot of money. I guess that's a business decision to continue it, but not every movie needs a sequel.
And now it's time for the weekly recommendations.
Moving on to weekly recommendations. You got some for me?
I do have some for you.
All right, let's hear them.
My first one, we're talking a pretty classic Hong Kong action movie today. My first one is another classic Hong Kong action movie with Chow Yun-fat. Not a John Woo movie, though. A Ringo Lam movie, who we're going to bring up in a little bit in terms of talking about the killer. But a Ringo Lam movie from 1992 called Full Contact with Chow Yun-fat. He's a guy who's like a bouncer of the club. He helps out on a robbery, doing a favor for a friend, ends up getting double-crossed on the robbery, and then spends part of the movie recovering from that double-cross, and the rest of the movie going after the people that double-crossed him. It's a really fun action movie. I think it might be the first instance of almost like a bullet cam, where like someone shoots and then the camera has that super fast dolly into something. Mm-hmm. Because there was a great shootout in the nightclub where that method is used. But it's really great. You were talking about how the killer was kind of hard to find. I'm sure Full Contact is really hard to find unless you're lucky enough to have a DVD of it, like me, from the 90s when like you could find the Hong Kong films everywhere. But it's called Full Contact, directed by Ringo Lam, who directed a couple other pretty great movies in Hong Kong. Then he came to the States, and I only know one movie that he made in the States. I'm sure that there are more. We'd have to look them up, but I know that he made Maximum Risk with Van Damme, which is a pretty solid movie. Not so much action, but a pretty solid thriller, in my opinion. Probably one of the last decent Van Damme movies, because he was really shitty for a stretch.
What's a big shitty movie?
With Van Damme?
Yeah. Just a side note, real quick. Are you talking about? What's the one with Dennis Rodman?
Oh God, is that Double Team?
Double Team. Yeah.
Double Team is bad. I hope that's not a Ringo Lam movie. I believe he did one with what's the guy's name? Choi Hark, who we'll talk about here because he's connected to Wu for a first part of his career. Knockoff.
Oh yeah.
Knockoff's pretty bad. I think isn't Rob Schneider in that?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty bad. I think that was the beginning of the end for a while. And then it's only like maybe in the last decade or so that he had gotten clean and kind of been on the comeback and popped up in a couple of decent things, or knew enough how to like kind of parody his persona, his screen presence. But check out Full Contact. And my second one is a movie called Enough Said from Nicole Holofcener. With Julia Louis-Dreyfus and James Gandolfini. I think it might have been Gandolfini's last completed film. I think because the movie's dedicated to him, so he had definitely passed before it came out. It's from 2013, and it's just a fun little romantic comedy about these two divorced people who meet and then start a romance. And I always loved Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She's an incredible comedic actress. Check out Veep if you've never watched Veep. She's incredible in that show. And it's fun seeing Gandolfini kind of play against type as like a really funny, lovable divorce character that's like a real romantic.
Where did you watch this?
That was on like HBO or something.
Okay.
Check it out. Holofcener's a pretty good director. She's got a handful of pretty great movies under her belt, and she's also a really solid writer. She co-wrote The Last Duel last year, which is a really good movie. You wouldn't know it by the fact that it was in and out of the theaters in maybe a week, but it's actually a pretty good movie. It got dumped by Disney. And she co-wrote Can You Ever Forgive Me a few years back with Melissa McCarthy, which is another fucking great movie that I don't think gets as much attention as it should. But check out Enough Said. I liked it a lot. It's really fucking funny.
All right, Enough Said and Full Contact?
Full Contact.
Nice.
Full Contact is probably going to be super hard to find.
I have just one that I don't think
I know what it is.
Yeah, of course. The new Robert Eggers film, The Northman.
It fucking ruled.
Got to see it on a really big screen.
Same, yeah. You and I, we saw it at the same spot.
In Dolby, and it doesn't disappoint. I loved it.
It's so good. The cinematography is great. The fight choreography is intense.
Yeah.
Especially that first raid on the village, because it's two unbroken shots. That the cut is where he takes the guy off the horse, where he jumps down and takes the guy off the horse. But it's two unbroken shots, and it's just the chaos in the background, and then him fighting these guys in the village. And
that's like minutes into the that's pretty
like 20 minutes into the movie.
Yeah. It was one of those movies where everything's propelling so fast where you're like, where is this going? Like, how long is this going to, they're going to run out of steam, but then...
Yeah. It slows down a bit in the middle, not for the worse or anything. It's still, like, real engaging, but it doesn't have as much action in that middle stretch while it's setting up that third act.
There's a lot of crazy, talking about psychedelic stuff earlier.
Yeah.
There's a lot of psychedelic stuff in this. Great cast.
Oh, man.
Stacked cast.
Kidman's great in it. Anya Taylor-Joy is very good in it.
Defoe, even though he's not, doesn't have a lot of screen time.
He's got a couple of scenes, but yeah, he's awesome in it.
And Bjork, of course.
Oh, Bjork's one scene, like that one cameo scene that she really has, she's fucking phenomenal. It's kind of a bummer that she never did more acting.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. But yeah, go watch The Northman. Support your local cinemas.
Absolutely. And if it's still playing on that screen, that at Grossmont, that Titan screen, check it out there. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's worth it. I was really surprised that it was playing on there too, because not to throw any shade at Reading, but that location tends to lie as to what is actually playing on the Titan when you look online. Because of, what did I go?